See, at the end of the day, if you let Caitlin Clark play her game, this team can make some noise. If you don't let Caitlin Clark play her game, this team will be playing with... Oh, Stephanie. This is the most dumbest coach in the league. You have the player. Coaches die for her, and White is doing everything she can to kill CeCe's brand and take away her talent, and not willing to put a team around her, also willing to drag down the whole league with it couldn't see if your rides the boat, all tides will be lifted. She was known for team killer, and that fits now.
Something reportedly happened inside the Indiana Fever organization that shocked the basketball world. Fans online believe this was not just another locker room rumor, because this time people thought the entire Fever system had exploded from the inside. At the center of the chaos were Caitlin Clark, Stephanie White, and a leaked ESPN report that sent the internet into meltdown. The Fever were already under enormous pressure. Fans were frustrated with coaching decisions, questions about locker room chemistry, constant controversy surrounding Clark, and non-stop criticism aimed at White after months of chaos around the team. But after the latest reports started spreading online, everything suddenly felt different, bigger, and more dangerous. Rumors across social media claimed ESPN insiders discussed growing tension inside the Fever organization. Nothing was officially confirmed, but once fans heard words like locker room frustration and internal pressure connected to Indiana, the internet reacted instantly. At first, many supporters believed it was another exaggerated sports rumor. But then things became worse because clips from recent Fever games immediately resurfaced online. Emotional sideline reactions, frustrated timeout conversations, and players looking disconnected made fans analyze every moment again. Suddenly, people believed the Fever locker room had already been falling apart for weeks. Then came the moment that changed everything. Rumors started spreading that Stephanie White could walk away from the Fever amid the chaos surrounding Clark and the fan backlash. That possibility alone exploded online. Fans claimed the pressure became too much and the organization lost control. Those comments spread everywhere instantly, and suddenly the entire WNBA world started watching Indiana again. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark remained publicly silent. No dramatic interviews, no emotional social media posts, nothing. Fans believed that silence made the story feel even bigger.
Watching me, ESPN's newest stooge, Laurencia Moten. Just like Carolyn Peck, just like Stephanie White, they all believe the Indiana Fever is tougher to guard when Caitlin Clark is not in the lineup. Different day, but it's the same message they keep going out. And who is this person in the middle of my screen? Didn't we get rid of Monica McNutt last year? She's back, isn't she? Ah, dang.
Here's my hot take. Honestly, the Indiana Fever played some of their best team basketball without Caitlin Clark, and that's because she's like the sun that offense kind of orbits around. The ball is constantly in her hands, which just made their offense extremely easy to guard. Now, without her in the lineup, Stephanie White had to decide who else was going to get in the mix. And their offense became so much more diverse. We saw Kelsey Mitchell having a tremendous season. Lexi Cole got in the fold. Aaliyah Boston, another dominant season. But all because they had to do it without Caitlin Clark. And that made their offense extremely hard to guard.
Fever finished 24-20 last year.
Look at Monica McNutt. Oh, folks, you know what this sounds like? This sounds like a certain somebody else.
You were at that game just now. Look, the Fever have been on a tear. They've won 2 in a row, a 25-point blowout of the Lynx in the Commissioner's Cup final, and then 27 against the Aces in this one. In both of those games without Caitlin Clark. How is Indiana getting this done right now?
Because according to fan theories spreading online, Sophie Cuningham appeared frustrated during recent team moments involving coaching and communication. Then one quote rumor spread everywhere online. "We can coach ourselves again." Nothing was officially confirmed, but once fans connected Sophie's emotional energy with the Stephanie White rumors, chaos completely took over social media. Supporters already viewed Sophie as one of Caitlin Clark's biggest protectors inside the locker room. Fans praised her passion, intensity, and willingness to defend teammates emotionally. Now supporters believed Sophie had finally reached her limit too. Meanwhile, Indiana Fever fans completely turned against Stephanie White online. Comment sections became brutal, sports pages filled with emotional reactions, and many supporters openly blamed the coaching staff for wasting the most important player in women's basketball. But then came another twist. Rumors started spreading that several Fever players had become frustrated with the overall direction of the team before the season fully stabilized. Again, nothing was officially confirmed. But by now, fans believed every rumor instantly because the emotional atmosphere surrounding Indiana already looked unstable. Then ESPN discussion clips started spreading everywhere online again. Fans replayed every sentence, every reaction, and every mention of Indiana drama. Suddenly, supporters became convinced the organization was hiding something much bigger behind the scenes. Meanwhile, rival fan bases jumped directly into the chaos. Chicago Sky fans, Las Vegas Aces fans, and Dallas Wings fans all started reacting online. Because the Fever had become the center of the basketball world again, that's the pressure surrounding Caitlin Clark now. Every moment becomes national news. Every rumor explodes online. Every emotional reaction turns into controversy. After months of drama surrounding the Fever, fans believed the organization had finally started cracking you.
Now they're all buddies. Now they're all friends. They're pals. So Stephanie White tells Carolyn Peck how she feels about Caitlin Clark and the offense when the ball's in her hands and the offense when she's on the floor and how Caitlin Clark affects the game. And then Carolyn Peck goes on ESPN and regurgitates that same message that Stephanie White gave her. And now ESPN hires this newest stooge who's looking up to Mama Hen, aka Carolyn Peck, and now she's regurgitating the stuff that Carolyn Peck said to her. But let's talk about it, shall we? Let's take a look, shall we? Shout out to Millie, daydream this. The Fever are better with Caitlin Clark. A look at Indiana's performance with and without Clark on the floor. Record, better with Caitlin Clark. Win percentage, better with Caitlin Clark. Points per game, higher with Caitlin Clark. Offensive rating, higher with Caitlin Clark. Effective field goal percentage, higher with Caitlin Clark. Assist rate, higher with Caitlin Clark. But we're not done here. Win percentage, points per game, field goals made per game, field goals attempted per game, field goal percentage. Three-pointers made, all better with Caitlin Clark. Three-pointers attempted, less with Caitlin. So you guys attempt more threes without Caitlin Clark than with Caitlin Clark? That kind of goes against the narrative, doesn't it? The three-point percentage is yet better with Caitlin Clark. Free throws made.
That's when the conversation became even more intense, because fans no longer believed this was only about basketball strategy. They believed the entire emotional environment around Caitlin Clark had become toxic. The fouls, the pressure, the media attention, and the coaching controversy had been building for too long. Meanwhile, Sophie Cuningham and Lexi Hull kept receiving massive support online. Fans praised their energy around Clark, and many supporters believed certain players inside the locker room were already preparing for major organizational changes. Then came the biggest rumor of all, that Stephanie White had privately become overwhelmed by the non-stop pressure surrounding the Indiana Fever situation. Nothing was officially confirmed, but once that rumor mixed with the ESPN leak theories and fan backlash, the internet completely exploded. Sports pages immediately started posting dramatic headlines. Is the Fever locker room collapsing? Has Stephanie White lost the team? Can Caitlin Clark survive the chaos? Those conversations spread everywhere. The pressure around Indiana suddenly felt enormous because Caitlin Clark is no longer just another player. She has become the center of the entire WNBA conversation. Every decision around her changes the league, and every controversy becomes national news. Fans now believe the Fever may be entering their most dangerous moment yet. But through all the chaos, one thing still feels impossible to ignore. Fans are not abandoning Caitlin Clark. If anything, they are supporting her harder than ever before. After the latest Stephanie White rumors, ESPN leak theories, and Sophie Cunningham reactions, supporters believe a major turning point may finally be coming inside Indiana. Now the entire basketball world is waiting. Because if the Fever truly lose control of the Caitlin Clark era, the backlash across the league could become enormous. And after everything that has happened recently, fans believe the drama in Indiana may,